So this is the Pearl River, Gulf, Mississippi, on the highway to nowhere, Highway 44. They constructed this several $million bridge when I was like, I don't know, 15, 16. I'm in my 30s now. This highway just dead ends up here, goes to nowhere. Our tax dollars hard at work, you know. Washed out a little more since the last I was here. Here we are, Red Bluff. Good morning, YouTube. Welcome to Red Bluff, Morgantown, Mississippi. This is about 2 miles through the woods across the river from my house, so this is kind of a local oddity for us. Today we're going to be hiking down to the bottom. There's a train wreck down there we're going to go see. And if we're able to, before the rain comes, I'm going to try to go ahead and hike all the way on down to the Pearl River. It is currently 8:45. It's 76 degrees, which is very mild for a morning down here in the middle of July in South Mississippi. So it feels great. It did rain yesterday about 2 inches, so some of this bluff might be a little slick, but we're going to try it, and hopefully it won't be too bad. Thanks for coming. All right, guys, we're at the very top right now. Starting to head down. It's pretty cool. Feeling pretty good. The only thing, this clay is a little bit slick since this rain, and I hear the creek down there. It's running pretty good right now. There's a lot of obstacles on this trail, and also if you do decide to come hike this little trail, one thing you should be very aware of is rattlesnakes. There are a good many around. Keep your eyes open. Most of the time, if you're not bothering them, they're not really going to bother you. But however, I do recommend bringing protection with you, whatever form of protection you prefer. Not only for the wildlife that is here, but you know, you just never know what you're going to run up on these days. And also, don't be like this. Don't do that. If you come here to enjoy nature, don't do that. All right, I'll see you a little further down the trail. You know, one of the most common misconceptions about the Red Bluff is that it's either a park or a recreation area. It's not. This is privately owned property by someone that lives out of state. They're just kind enough to continue to let people come here without charging you for trespassing or anything like that. So there again, when you're packing in the trail, please pack out. Tread lightly. Respect these people's property so that they don't shut it down for all of us that enjoy it. This poor tree here is just barely hanging on by a thread. That gully is quite washed out. But we're about to start heading down pretty dramatically. It's about 270 feet elevation change from top to bottom. I guess somebody thought that they should further beautify what God already put before us as beautiful. I don't understand why people do things like this. You know, it's such a beautiful area, but yet, you know, throw your trash down in it and paint the trees. That just seems like a great idea. We're getting close to the railroad tracks. Don't know if y'all can see that down there, but we're getting close. Not too much further. I hear the creek running that way, so that means we're almost to the railroad track, and then it's a little bit further to the river. All right, guys, we've made it to the sharpest descent of the hike, which is right before you get to the railroad track. Now this looks like it has changed a little bit since my last hike down. I notice that somebody has created another trail over towards this way. It looks a little rough too, so we're just gonna have to get down there and see what our best option is for descending. Okay, so there really isn't any great options here. It's pretty steep no matter how you go. I don't think there's going to be any walking. It's going to be more or less climbing down. And it's pretty wet today. Like I say, we got about 2 inches of rain last night, so this is probably going to be a little rough. So glad that I wore a new shirt. All right, let's get it. Okay, so this is definitely a lot steeper down here than I recall it being. I was gonna try to video for you guys of me climbing down, but I don't even really have anywhere to put my camera. So I'm gonna put this thing away for a minute and see if I can work my way down. Okay, so we made it down. It was a little rough. Had to sit down, time or two, and just kind of scoot. But there is a system of pine roots right there that are kind of washed out around them. So you're kind of able to use those as stirrups and holds to get down. But it did get a little slick right there. You used to go up. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera where you're at, but right there was a rope. The rope is still there, part of it, but it's kind of broke, and that is really slick. I'm not sure that if you can make it up there again right now. But anyway, we are at the railroad track. I'll shoot some for you guys both ways. Really pretty here, and the train wreck is just right up the railroad tracks here. We'll go check that out. And contrary to what is being said on the internet, that train did not wreck in 1901. That was Red Bluff, California. The train wreck that occurred here happened in the 60s, I believe it was, late 60s. I know my grandpa was alive when it happened, and he was drunk. So it's not as old as some people like to think it is. But anyway, let's get on down the trail. Thought I'd like to show you all this. This is the runoff branch coming from the bluff. And you see all the rocks coming down this thing, going into this culvert underneath the tracks. You can hear them. So we're watching further erosion of this bluff in real time. The smell of creosote walking down these tracks is just overwhelming. Like, it is really strong smell walking down through here. Not too much further. Okay, when you get to the railroad track at the bottom of the bluff, you're gonna head east or to the right. and you're going to keep walking down those tracks. I don't know, maybe maybe a quarter mile. It's not too god awful far. And then you're going to see that retention wall on the right side of the track. Your train wreck is right down the hill from that retention wall. Let's go check it out. There's the old retention wall put there because there's basically a second mini Red Bluff coming up right there. This is some really sandy clay filled soil here, and it erodes really easily with rain. There's the Pearl River right there behind those trees. All right, to the train wreck. Here we go. There's one car. Got a little washout under it. There's way down there. And again, while we're walking down into this perilous washout, I want to remind you guys, if you are in South Mississippi during the summertime and you're walking in the woods, there is a greater chance than not that there's a snake looking at you from some direction. So when you go to looking at little holes like that, just be mindful before you get close and step in there that there's probably somebody in there waiting on you. Check this out. You can actually walk up into this one. Looks like somebody had them a little camp down here. Oh, all the beautiful artwork. How nice. And there's the river. Right there. She's pretty muddy right now, all the rain we've had lately. That's a pretty big tree. It's a little hotter down here than it was up at the top of the bluff, which I know it's getting a little later in the day. But it's only taken me about an hour to get here, so not too bad. Neat little place to check out though. All right, moving on. Spotted this on the way out. I thought you guys would think that's neat. Old tree. Looks like white oak, or possibly red, judging by the bark. Possibly a red oak, but it grew basically straight out over the river. The river's flowing nicely today. And also I spotted this little trail over here I'm gonna check out. I haven't ever been down there, so we're gonna see. More beautiful artwork in that train car. It looks like a sycamore tree top has broken and fallen over it, kind of making it inaccessible. We're not really, but I don't want to get over there with all them leaves. If you've ever seen a copperhead, those jokers are really good at hiding in that kind of environment. So we're gonna steer clear of that for right now. Okay, so that trail basically dead ended, but it did bring me up to a couple more cars that have tipped over or laying down here. But we're gonna have to turn around and come back out. That's actually a pretty interesting piece of graffiti right there. Cool. That's really pretty up through there. If it wasn't for that tree. Very reminiscent of some of the trails we've hiked in the Smoky Mountains. It's just missing some rhododendron growing along. Alright, so the little creek here, really raging today. I guess all that rain. And this trail, you have to cross this creek several times. These shoes are not waterproof, they're water resistant. But I really don't want to hike all the way back up far with wet socks. So I guess what we're gonna do is just kind of hang out here for a little while, take a break before we head back up. Brought my Nature Hike chair along and some water. We're gonna want to stay hydrated here. So we'll set up, chill for a little while, and we'll head back up. Wonder what that was for. Wow, that was really nice. You know, there's nothing like the sound of flowing water. Look how pretty that is. That just relaxes the mind, the body, the soul. Just being out here in God's little creation. You know, there's no amount of substance that you can put in your body that can ever equal to the peace that comes from being in places like this. To me, it just makes me not understand why people want to come here and do the things that they do. But anyway, onward. This particular part of the little creek isn't too bad. You just have to watch because it is it's a little mushy. I stepped in a spot back there. I almost took my poor little boot. But as long as you stay where it's kind of gravelly like this, it's not too bad. So really sandy spots like that are kind of rough. Ooh, smushy. Wow, it's foggy down here. I don't know if you can tell that on the camera. It's odd. Just getting really foggy down here. I know the camera don't really pick up fog. Wow, it's kind of strange for this time of the morning for it to be so foggy. Large boulder. But, albeit, it's still not very hot. So, we're gonna count our blessings and trek on. The color variations in this sediment here, in this washout, it's pretty neat. Pretty neat looking. Got a little drainage thing going on there. Some poor child's beloved Power Wheels is now the source of the waterfall. Jeez Louise. There's a lot of ferns here. I guess the dampness and it being kind of dark in these woods a lot. I guess they just really thrive here. But it sure makes for some pretty scenery. Like we got just a ball of roots here. Made a little washout ledge there. It's pretty neat. Word of precaution. Everything here that looks like solid ground is probably not. I just went up to my knee back there. That's a little sketchy. So I think I'm understanding why the ground is so squishy right here. No creek. There's a spring head right there that's pushing that ground up, and it has just turned it into nothing mush quicksand. All right, guys, we have made it to the bottom of Red Bluff. Now we're going to be coming up into the bluff. You know, it's really hard to see the grandeur of this little spot from camera. But this place is freaking huge. It is just really, it really makes you feel small when you're standing down here. But it is quite a sight to behold. Okay, so my Jeep is parked way up there somewhere. It looks like there's a couple of different ways. Maybe we can get to it from this side. But we're gonna do a little more exploring while we're down here. It's been, oh gosh, it's probably been five years since I've been down here into the actual bottom. So we're gonna give it a look, see what's going on. We gotta get up there. Oh boy. Man, this is quite a grueling little climb. Get out of here. All right, guys, had to stop and take a little break. The route that I used to take out of here is really washed out now. It's not the same as it used to be. So I may end up having to climb back down and find another way out. Take a break for a minute and we'll see. So, I have to make my way across this tiny ridge line and climb up that. Holy crap. Okay, not gonna lie, that was a little sketchy, but we're close to the trail now, so onward. Right, everybody. everybody, we made it back to the top. So this marks the end of our journey down Red Bluff and back up to the old yonder Jeep. For now, I think we're gonna sit down a while and just enjoy this view.